how to bring an awareness of supply chain to the college level. My guest today is Michelle Carroll. She is Supply Chain Management Department Chair at Fayetteville, North Carolina Technical Community College. Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
Thanks so much for spending the time with me. This is, of course, a crucial issue. I mean, it's not that supply chain hasn't entered the mentality of people in general. I mean, everybody seems to know what a supply chain is today, but that doesn't mean that education is stepping up to the plate to go along with that. How would you rate the quality and awareness of supply chain education among students today, say at your college level?
I think it's very important for our community right now. Like you said earlier, everybody now knows what supply chain management is, whether negative or positive. The program that we have right now is about 3 years old. So we got a little bit ahead of the pandemic. And so that's good. But the courses that we provide is well-rounded. It's not specific to one industry. Mm-hmm. So we kind of teach, we actually have 3 tracks. We have a global logistics technology track, and then we have the distribution management track, and then we actually have the 3rd track is trucking operations management. Of course, that is not the CDL or driving the truck itself. It's all the operations and important, rules and regulations that you need in order to operate a trucking business.
Okay. So at the other level, when it's just general global supply chain management, what aspects? Is it logistics? Is it a higher level executive? Is it procurement? What parts of supply chain are you addressing here?
We address all of them. We address from introduction to logistics all the way to advanced global logistics. In the middle, we teach purchasing logistics, transportation logistics, distribution management, import, export. We also have an international business class in the curriculum so that they can know that, of course, we're a global society right now. So, they have to understand how to operate globally.
How would you rate the interest of students in this subject matter right now?
It's been pretty good. Of course, since the pandemic, it has increased. We're in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which we have a large military base, Fort Bragg. So the majority of my students already are aware of logistics or supply chain management. So the students that come in, about 80%, I should say about 70% are prior military. So the interest is already there. So they know what they're coming in. They just want to improve their skill sets and update their skill sets more than anything else. And they want to kind of go from the entry level more into the middle management because they have the foundation already.
In fact, the military invented the concept of logistics. In fact, it used to be considered purely a military term. So it's not surprising to me that would be, you would be drawing on most of your students from there. But what about outside the military community? How is it that students even become aware and interested in, if they don't have military experience, where are they coming from that gets them interested in this topic?
Yeah, the pandemic has really piqued the interest of a lot of new students because they want to know, more about supply chain management, how the supplies are getting to the stores, because of course it's really affecting them when they go to the store, they have empty shelves, or when they go to McDonald's and they say, oh, the truck haven't come in yet. So it kind of is piquing their interest. And the other thing is they know that it will provide jobs for the future. It's one of the fastest growing segments in the employment, field right now. And the other thing is every company needs logistics or supply chain management. So they're getting it from employers, or that they want to, get more education so they can go up in the chain in their business, or they're getting it from even the schools. We have one high school here that has a supply chain management curriculum.
Really?
Yes.
That is interesting, because I was going to ask you, do you feel there's anything you can do in your role at the college level to pique the interest of high school students? Do you go into the high schools? Do you talk to high school students about supply chain as a career? Or do you just basically hope they come to you? How does that work?
Actually, it's 2 ways. Less than a month ago, I actually went to a local business where the high schoolers came in. It was a trucking business. The high schoolers came in and they got to tour the grounds. I mean, everything. They even have a rail. They even had a rail operations there. So that is one way. Prior to the pandemic, we actually have recruiters at the college that actually goes into the high schools, and they talk about the different programs that's available. Also, prior to the pandemic, the high schoolers used to come here to the campus, and we would sit down with them 15 to 20 minutes and go over what supply chain management or logistics, entails. So that is, we try to reach out to them, and we also have 2 or 3 times a year, we have a career fair. And we invite the high schoolers, the 11th and 12th grade, to come in. So we're trying to do both. We're trying to recruit. The recruiters are trying to get them in interest or into the door, or we go out to them.
Yeah, well,
We
given
also have a high school connection program that they can get credit for logistics classes and college credit and high school credit at the same time.
Now, you are supply chain management department chair at Fayetteville Technical Community College. Where does your interest in supply chain come from?
It comes from, I am a retired Marine. I actually spent 20 years in the Marine Corps. And then once I got out of the Marine Corps, I did government contracting for about 17 years. And so I wanted to come and teach, supply chain. So I've been in supply chain or logistics my whole career.
So once again, the military, a great source of expertise and talent and to being applied to supply chain in the private sector. Well, it's great to hear, Michelle, that you're seeing some success in piquing the interests of students at the college level, and even more important, at the high school level. Start them early, right? And they maybe this might actually be one of the keys to solving the talent gap in supply chain management. Michelle Carroll of Fayetteville Technical Community College, I want to thank you so much for joining me today to talk about these efforts. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you taking the time out and the interest in the supply chain in the education arena.
Thanks.